There we go. We got the cameras in motion. The wheels are in motion. Everything's in motion. That's it. That's how it goes. ASAP. All right. We're going to get rid of that. We're here. Welcome aboard. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're going to back up just a little bit there today. What an incredible weekend. That's it was a lot of fun. Let's dump that there. Unbelievable, I gotta tell you. So big time racing again at Racetrack Knott Street with Long Island Niche Drag Strip at EPCAL Executive Air Park in Carrollton, New York. Tons of people to thank on that. You go watch some of the videos we posted on the whole thing. But you know what? I'm really beginning to understand how important it is to see everything kind of work together. And I mean everything work together whole way through. The dealings with the town officials, with the supervisor, with the town board. That's really important. Dealings with the media. This way, they are able to see what is actually taking place over there. Environmental side of it too. Uh, super, super. You know, conscious, we'll say, of that. Everybody's on the concrete or pavement, and nobody's on the grass. All the rest of that kind of stuff. Really aware of a whole lot of things. The family aspect of it. Food trucks, wide variety. Something that has to do with the family side. And I'll show you these photos as we go along over here. And it wasn't just about the food trucks, but I have now made my way to, I think, every food truck. And we're going to keep up because there's another 4 or 5 more weekends of racing. You've got one more in September. And then I think we take a break, check the schedule on that one. But I know there's racing September 10th. So unbelievably excited about that one. And then in October racing, the fall season when that kicks in, that'll be another number of weekends, both Saturdays and Sundays, all daytime for the fall, all daytime. So they'll be out there. Track open up early in the morning. You get out there. Racing will end at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on each one of those days. What can you do to attend this thing? Just go. They got approval to sell the tickets right at the gate now, so that's good. Makes life so much easier, so much easier. If you want to get tickets in advance, you always can. Go to the website. You go to Long Island Needs a Drag Strip, Line Ads, Long Island Needs a Drag Strip, their car show, which is every Tuesday evening at the Mount Carmel Church in Patchogue. That's kind of funny. It's like someone said, "Hey, Brian, you sound like you have an announcer's voice." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." You know why? I can tell you why. It's not formal training, my friends, and this goes into the whole big thing here of why we changed the name of I got to finally change the name of this thing, right? And that is about advancing through opportunities. Let's get rid of that. We'll come back over here. Is the fact that when you do things, you understand things a little bit differently by doing things. You got to be ready for those opportunities as they come up, and then you mold into that person if that's what you should be doing. So how do you do something? When they say, that commercials out there with their tagline, well, I don't want to say it, but it is really a matter of taking that first step and just making it happen. And don't be afraid to do something that you've never done before. Yeah, there's risk rewards, all the rest of that stuff needs to be taken into account. But if you go into things with an open mind, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, if you go into things with an open mind, it's like, hey, I'm going to be able to learn how to do this thing. I will make mistakes. I get that. But I know that I'm going to grow with the experience. I know that I have somebody that I could reach out to. You see, yeah, I do have this. Hang on, I'm right back. You get a kick out of this non-takeaway. But I know I have somebody that I can reach out to. And I know that I have told that person. And I had this specific conversation with somebody this past weekend. I said to him, I said, look, I said, I'm out here, I'm doing this thing. I really, because he came in, I got feedback from him, and he apologized for telling me. I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't. Don't apologize for telling me. Just tell me. Tell me what it is. I want the feedback because I want to be able to say things with proper terminology. And once I do that, now I could I could free up some brain power. Yeah, free up brain power. There we go. Let's go pull up the comments over here. Hey, Doug, afternoon to you and Karen, of course, my wife who lets me go out and play every weekend now. But I freeze up brain power. Trust me, without the comments over here from the peanut gallery, I need to free up brain power. So look, when those cars are moving forward and getting ready to go, if I say the cars are moving forward and they're getting ready to go, all those folks listening to me, even if you listen to those videos, you're going to know that I have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. So I have to come up with, not that I have to come up with, I have to know the terminology. I have to know some of the keywords. I can make mistakes and stuff like that, whatever, but I should know some of the key terms. Professional speakers. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that aspect of it. If you were to speak to a professional speaker, a motivational speaker, and find out what it is that they speak about, they're going to tell you that they speak about 3 topics or something like that, or 3 ways of approaching the same topic. They're not going to talk about 52 different things. They're going to talk about a few things, very, very few things. Their speeches, are known to them. They're just known to them. They're not written out or anything like that. They're just flat out known to them. So another question is, if they're giving the same speech all the time, how can they appeal to different audiences? It's easy. Well, maybe it's not easy, but what they're doing is they're doing their research in advance of every presentation. Every presentation. They're interviewing the folks in the audience, well, the potential people in the audience, the folks that hire them in that case. Maybe they're speaking to a few people in the audience beforehand if they get that opportunity. But they're speaking to the key people that have hired them to find out what it is that, or how their message is being applied to that company's situation. Because remember, the company reached out to them to hire them. So the company knows the message. The question is, does the message or the speaker know exactly why they were hired? It's not because they're brilliant. It goes a little bit beyond, oh, I heard your speech. It was so good. It was very entertaining. It's more than that. It has to be impactful, actionable, and that's what makes it work. That's why they deserve to be paid the big bucks. That's why they're getting the bigger speaker fees. But not only are they finding out exactly what they want to have the outcome be from it, but those speakers are learning the key words, the key phrases, because they need to be relatable to the audience. If they're not relatable to the audience, it doesn't work. And the audience is just not going to think that they're for real, or they just say the same thing all the time and it's got nothing to do with them. And that's probably the most important part of it. If the person speaking is speaking and speaking to the audience, that's what I do on the weekends. I am announcing the races. Who am I speaking to? I'm speaking to the audience. In this case, it's the spectators. But if the spectators or if the audience members or the employees or the people that are part of an association, people that are part of their trade group that are there to listen to that speaker, if they don't feel that that speaker is speaking to them directly, that's a waste of time. And it's just a non-impactful speech. Maybe it's fun and stuff like that. You want to hear a fun thing? Go to a comedy show. Go listen to some of those comics. They're fun. It's good. It's enjoyable. You meet some friends. You have some food. Maybe you have a cocktail or two, whatever. And you're just having a good time. And when you leave, hey man, that was fun. I had a great time. But the professional speakers, they're not just hired to go in there and entertain. They're hired to go in there and motivate and create actionable ideas and that kind of thing. And they do that by knowing the keywords and knowing what the purpose of it is. Translating it back to what I'm doing here on the weekend, right? I don't know when I began this, it's not terribly long ago, not exactly speaking with years of experience. But again, I didn't know the audience. I don't know. They were people in the stands. Oh, okay. That's good. I didn't know who those people were. It's taken me a little bit of time to go figure out who those people are. For many of them, it's local entertainment. The bulk of them, these are friends and family members of the folks racing the cars. Now I know my audience. Now, the other thing is the credibility factor. Do I have the credibility to get on that microphone and speak for the hours? And the answer to that is don't tell anybody. No, I thought we'd keep it a secret. Hey, okay, maybe we won't keep it a secret. The answer is no. That first time I did this, no credibility at all. I like the microphone. Who was I entertaining? Me. Me. But as it goes along, if I want to be effective, if you want to be effective, be it as a speaker, be it as a teacher, be it as somebody that's going out there and trying to do business development and having one-on-one conversations. But if you want to be effective, you have to know the lingo. And there are certainly different ways of doing that. In this case over here, I could give you the examples, and you got your own examples too. You want to learn how to give a better elevator speech? Speak to Glenn Rudin. Glenn does classes. Actually, he's got one coming up on developing and delivering an elevator pitch. And I can tell you, full endorsement with Glenn. I know I've chatted on that same topic too, and I've given a number of presentations with it. And when I sat down with Glenn and we talked about it, approach is slightly different. Everything is always slightly different. But I agree with him 100%. 100%. I will totally endorse Glenn. If you want to learn how to deliver an elevator pitch and be more effective in what you're doing, go speak to Glenn Rudin. Now, if you're going to do something else and you're going to promote whatever company you got in business development, you got to know the lingo. You got to know the lingo. You can't call parts something wrong. The person that you're speaking to, especially if they're going to buy your product, if they know that you don't know anything, they may still want to work with the company, but they're not going to want to work with you. Doesn't happen that way. Definitely doesn't happen. You want to build a speaking business, you got to have everything in place in order to do that. You got to have a one sheet in the description of what it is you talk about, your past places that you've spoken at, testimonials. You got to have video. The point is, you've got to have these basic things. And they're basic things. You have to have it. Now it's probably expand a little bit more. Is not only are you a good speaker, but can you speak properly and be effective on Zoom or some digital platform just as much as an in-person event? I do believe in that the digital events will certainly be. Spoke to somebody yesterday about headsets, and I don't want to get far off course over here, but those digital events, I can tell you, they are here to stay, without a doubt. There's a lot to gain from doing the personal one-on-one stuff, but with big time, it really is. All right, so my last thing, and I want to get to it. So I've looked for various opportunities, right? Just look for those opportunities, and this comes to mindset. How do I become more effective in doing what I'm doing? And I don't know crud about it. I honestly don't know crud. If they were to lift open the hood on these cars, which they went over to the tech area to go see what these engines even look like, the wires, the rest of that, 2 springs on the carburetor. You know, okay. And then now I know, but I didn't know what it looked. So I participated. I observed. I didn't really participate. I observed the whole thing. Now, brain power. Let's free up brain power. I now know and can visualize, because I saw it, what 2 springs look like on a carburetor for that particular car. All right, and that's good. Now, what about all the other verbiage? What about all the other lingo and stuff like that? Are you ready? Here it is, right here. All right, it's a old school Manila folder. Hey, we got notes on the inside. Manila folder, and these are the keywords. So I'm trying to use these words as much as I can in the proper context. How do I do that? By listening to other people. Can't do that at the track. So in Indianapolis, they had the Nationals out there, and it was like 17 hours worth of video. I listened to a lot of it. And anytime one of those, well, that's how I picked up those words. I had in the background when I heard the word, I then replayed the whole thing. And that was where it went. All right, but so, and again, knowing the audience, it's chatting with people. And sometimes it's before, sometimes it's afterwards. I have the luxury of going out there on a weekly basis and getting to know everybody and chatting, being in the tech area, in the pit area, in the stands too, by the food trucks, wherever it is. And I've come to realize that so many of those people are there are family and friends of the drivers. So now when I'm speaking, I think it's more important for me to talk about not what kind of car, I know what kind of engines and the rest of that stuff that's in there, but the fact that, hey, this is the second generation, this is the third generation, all three generations are here, have a lot of family and friends. Matter of fact, one of the junior dragsters, Jason Dobry, brought his school with him. School. Jason's 7 years old. The school kids came out with the parents and all the rest of that stuff. So I was like, wow, wow. And that I think I broke a rule, but I did something I don't normally do. I normally don't take photos of kids. It's just don't do it, right? Whether legally can, can't, whatever. The answer is in public and whatever, can do it. But I went over afterwards. I asked these parents. I was like, hey, I took the photo. Not a Jason. Jason's driving the car, and that's fine. But the others, the spectators. So I got that. All right, let's. What do you say? Let's get. Let's get this thing going. And we show some photos. I got 12 minutes. There is not a chance that I'm going to be able to show all of these photos here in 12 minutes. But you know what? We're going to give a whirl at it. All right, there we go. Photo share. All right, here we go. So I got there early. So, Kat, when I leave the house and get there early, that's what it looks like. Browns 112. They're there. Set up, all ready to go. They've been there consistently. Browns 112. And so the whatever the contest is, if you find the photo of that, how many times can you see the word Browns 112 in these photos? And it's quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the truck a couple of times. Logos, sign, and they got frisbees down there too. So it is a tremendous amount of times. All right, let's go through this, and we'll keep track of the time there a little bit. It's 1:19. All right, spoiled rotten. That's Jason Dobry. That's the junior dragster. That dragster is capable, if there's no governors on there or anything like that, is approximately 80 miles per hour going down the track. That thing has got all the safety features that you would see in a dragster car, right? You got a roll cage, obviously helmet. His arms are clipped to the side. Inside, I think there's a head restraint in there also, and a number of other features. So unbelievable how actually safe these cars are. You're still, you're still watching your kid go down the track. This would be Gabriella. Gabriella did a fine job also racing down the track. These cars are just absolutely gorgeous too. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly here. This was Michael and Anthony, two brothers racing against each other. Fun time. It was great seeing them go head to head against each other too. Really great stuff. And you could see to transport these things, you're not just sticking on the back of some trailer someplace. You got I believe that was on this side. They got the full blown enclosed trailer, fits both cars, equipment, tools, whatever they got in there, and then the mobile home. One of the things that is different about here versus some of the other tracks they go to, and actually one of the junior dragsters pointed out, he was like really surprised. He turned around to his mom. He's like, "Ma, we really going racing today? It's light outside and we're still home." Because normally, if they got to go down to, and they're not going to leave on a Friday night, but they're going to leave in the morning, they have to leave like real early in the morning. So I didn't ask what time they're leaving the house, but if the racing starts, or they need to be at the track at 8, 9 o'clock to get set up, and it's a 2-3 hour ride, plus you're not going terribly quick, in these cars. It's a lot of extra time you need to do, and you can't just show up at 8 o'clock and be ready to go at 8 o'clock. So this in the backyard was wonderful for them. But wait, we'll get to that photo where you'll see it's wonderful because you could bring your friends, family, and schoolmates down. All right. This is a specially built race car, without a doubt. What I didn't get in here was the inside of this car. I mean, just flat out, you got roll cages, all the rest of that kind of stuff. The inside, though, it was like a whole computer system that was set up in there. This is not just, gear shift and gas pedal and brake and away you go. It's incredible, the equipment that was in there. Couldn't really get that picture. Now, I guess we need a professional photographer to get that done. This is a little closer, in there, inside the car. But I'll tell you, there's no frills. Let me tell you, there's no extra stuff that you don't need. Everything is needed. If you look at the top, you can see some of the electronic equipment, that's in there. All right, let's go. That was the outside of the car. Green Dodge Dart. I just love the color of this car. Another one of these race cars. I went through the pit area in the beginning, taking photos of as many of the cars as I could till I got going back over there. Again, street legal cars too, by the way, my friends. Street legal cars. So it's kind of interesting as that goes. Some of them are. Some of them are not. This one, I believe, fell into that category. Just beautiful condition. Takes such great shape. I took this photo early in the morning. Little did I know afterwards, Mike, he's the one second from the end on the left, wound up getting a perfect reaction time. In other words, he left the starting line exactly at 0.000 seconds, exactly at the same time that the green light went on. Kind of fascinating. Another one of the junior drags is, this is 3 generations over here. The gentleman all the way on the right happens to be one of the instructors at Suffolk Community College. Yep, that's right, in the automotive program. The gentleman a little bit to the left, the grandpa shirt, he used to race cars. And down here, that would be the junior dragster for the 3rd generation of cars that are down here. And it's just great to see all of this stuff happen. Nice and easy for that to be. We got a little orange car. Keeps Errol and that team happy. Love those orange cars. This is the drivers' meeting. So at the beginning of each of these days, all the drivers come up. They're all listening in. It's John over here on the left with the microphone, telling them exactly what to expect, what to do, what we expect, or what the officials, the staff, the track officials expect them to do throughout the day. And the staging lanes is coming up, where the water box is, how to do the burnout. I said that almost without hesitating. Pre-stage, stage, all the rest of that kind of stuff. If there is anybody, and there always is, first-time drivers, they're able to come up, walk up the track to see where the beams are, where the staging lights are, see how that goes. Also, if you look to see the gentleman that's closest to you on the right-hand side, that says no water. Some of the cars are doing burnouts. They're going to go into that water box and they're going to do the burnout, and that heats up the tires, give them better traction. Some of the cars, more the street cars and the Teslas, the battery cars, they don't, because they get traction control in there, or some of the cars just don't have enough power to do a burnout, so they won't go through that water. And the reason for that is, one, they don't need to heat up the tires. It's not going to make any difference in the world. But the track officials don't want them to, because they don't want them to bring the water up the track. The race cars, and many of the street cars, they bring an extra set of tires. They got slicks on, and slicks and water, no traction, not good. So it creates no traction. So no water on the track. All right, here we go. This is my hey, take a look at it's like the perfect Father's Day photo, and I think it's only men in there. I believe so. But the men and their kids, getting them all set up to go. Or you could say the crew chiefs and the drivers, instead of men and their dads and kids, but whatever. I'm going to create a photo album, by the way. Going to create a photo album. And we're going to call it the Generations at Racetrack Not Street. And all the photos in there will be multi-generational photos of multi-generations at the track. And just to point out the fact that this is a truly a family affair as that goes. All right, we'll keep going. This is another one of these family affairs. You might remember that little gentleman over there. That is Jason Dobry. Yeah, that's right. He's that small. That is him, 7 years old. That is Dad, and I believe that is Grandpa in the car. Everybody's out there. All right, there we go. As our starter, Errol. Errol had a great time and did a great time. Did a great job, as the starter for the whole thing. Got a couple of photos in there, Errol. All good. So all good. We send it to him. So he just looks so content. That is Pete Scalzi. He's a racetrack operator. He's the other guy on the mic with me. He's been announcing the races and the logistical things, the organizational things that need to be. I do a little bit more commentary. This happens to be one of the cars that falls into that, hey, that's a race car. You're not going to see this car on the street. I see it on a trailer on the street, not on the street. Very interesting watching them go down the track. I don't have enough time to really go through that right now, but it's fascinating watching them go down, how they go down, and how they control the speed of the car. And this, I do believe, it would be Charlie. Um, Street legal car, very, very quick. Well, I was taking the photos from behind them at this, at the tree starting area. There was another photographer in the other way taking photos with the cars heading toward him. I'm taking photos with the cars heading away. When they're doing, this is the water box, when they're doing the burnout, getting ready to do it, I'm able to take the photo at that point in time. Had the wrong lens on. I had a telephoto lens. I was a little too close, But what I was trying to do is get pictures of the junior dragsters, of the drivers of the junior dragsters. That's Gabriella. You can see how focused she absolutely is. I got another picture a little bit better. As one of the brothers. There we go. That would be Michael. And now we got Jason. That's probably the best facial photo I got as they're in there. And are you ready for this? Look at this kid. I'm sorry. Look at this race driver. He gets it, man. Understands it's all about the audience. This is coming through. All right, we're going to keep this moving along. All these photos are going to be posted up in one of the photo albums. Nice, beautiful Camaro going down the track. And let's go over here. That one is, well, it may not fall into the beautiful category. Did a fine job going down the track, though. They all did. A lot of folks spent a little bit more attention to the engine than the outside of the car, which makes me wonder, too, about sponsorships and stuff like that. Oh, there we go. Good timing for sponsorships. So obviously this falls into the race car category. He brings it out to different tracks. That's the drive to Pennsylvania, upstate New York, etc. In these places, all those decals in there are sponsors. And I'm wondering about that whole thing. It's like, it's interesting. Interesting. So many events and get sponsored. These cars get sponsored. If you're a professional speaker, you got to do your promotion, your deck, for that. So I'm kind of wondering over here, if that is something that a few of these people might even want to put together. Again, never would have thought of it listening to the whole thing here. There we go. There's a little bit of promotion. Muscle Hill Garage. And these are the cars. Oh, it's 1:30. All right, we're 30 minutes into it. But these are the cars you're going to see over there raced up. These cars, the ones on the top. Forget about the guy on the bottom over there. But these cars up on the top, those are the cars. This is absolutely a run what you brung. And this is not bring a jalopy, run what you brung. All the cars have to go through tech. But these are the cars showing up here. These are beautiful cars. Beautiful cars. Many of them out of the showroom. They're not doing anything special with these cars. They're just driving them. Gives them a chance to come down to some track, drive legally, whatever speed they can reach, also, no potholes, anything like that. Traction's a little bit better. Should anything go amiss, there is an ambulance there, there's a fire truck there, and there's tow trucks there. Plenty of people help out as needed. It's there. And it's close too, right? That's the other thing too. You want to come down for a couple hours, you can do it. So it's good. All right, let's see if we can end this thing on one other photo. Look at that car. Woo. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Oh, and I am over. All right, that's good. We did have a couple of other folks down there taking photos. Slightly different angle. There's him. We'll send that over to that person. Again, the USA car back again. So he believe he ran by himself. That's why the red light is on the left lane. He's in the right lane. He's got the green. As soon as that green goes, I've been taking the photo. I can see how that tire is compressed. That's as the tire starts to move. You're getting that whole thing. There's another. Oh, you know what? That actually might be a better focus shot on the junior dragster than the other one. And as little man also, but look at these. Look at the eyes on these kids. On these junior dragster drivers. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And here we go. There's the photo we're going to end with over here today. That is Jason Dobry. That is the Eastport School. And that is his fellow students out there having a good time. And I can tell you right now, there is no way that you would see that if all those students and parents had to travel 3 hours to go see Jason take a drive down the track. take a pass down the track. Not only that, Jason did it multiple times. We had the ability to do it. The speed, not the speed of the cars, but the pace of the cars going one after another was going really, really well. And that's because of those staff members, those track officials down there. Kept it clean. Eighth mile tracks was a little bit shorter than quarter mile, obviously. It just kept it going. Everybody was really paying attention to safety. All that stuff went really, really well. Everybody was prepared, really good. Again, going through tech, they knew exactly what needed to be done. So it was really smooth. It was really great. So, a couple of important things they need to pay attention to. That was stressed, and when it all works, it works out so good. If you're interested in coming down there, by all means do. So it's next Saturday. The racing starts at 4 o'clock, goes till 9:30. Spectator gates open up at 2 o'clock. It's $25 for you to attend. Facilities are there. Food trucks are there. Beat the Heat program is there. Beat the Heat Inc. Program is there. That's the medley, the group. They're coming up with 5 different cars, 5 different police cars that you get a chance to race against or just see what's going on. That's good. There's a big special event taking place early today. That's prior to racing. You'll see the photos on that. That's going to be just absolutely incredible, unbelievable, unique opportunity for that. I'll share it with you afterwards. The media, News 12 was down there. That was great. Long Island Business News. That was great. The Riverhead Papers, have been covering it. That's good. Sponsors, all good. Everything's good. And of course, you, the drivers, the spectators, and you. Thanks for showing an interest in this thing. I know it may not be exactly what it is that you know about, but you know what? Wasn't anything I knew about either. But I saw them having a good time. It's like, that's unique. I saw the economic impact on this thing. I said, that's unique. I've always enjoyed racing in the background in the past years, decades, whatever. That kind of thing from a family aspect of it, but never imagined. So try something new. It'll get you excited. And you know what happens when you get excited? You wind up speaking well, speaking often, and you live inspired. And that in turn will inspire somebody else to do exactly the same thing. Keep looking for things that get you going. It'll continue on with other people too. All right, have an absolutely incredible day today. Back tomorrow. That was Saturday's photos. I didn't even get Sunday stuff together yet. We'll work on that one. Enjoy the day.